Lollapalooza Day 2, Brian Phillips backstage in Grant Park with Sueco.
What's up? That's me. I'm Sueco.
Hey,
What's
man.
going on?
Great to meet you.
You too. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. How's your Chicago experience been so far?
Dude, fantastic. This show that we just did was probably one of the top 5 like I ever did.
Yeah.
There was one moment, it was crazy. So I do this thing, like I have this crowd like surfboard that I built. It's this big 2x4. Yeah. And I went out, I did my thing, I'm standing, singing a song. Then I jump back in the crowd to surf back to the stage, like they carry me back. Yeah. And usually they like also bring back the surfboard. They like take that back to stage too, but it kind of just stayed out there. And I was tripping. I was like, oh no, are they gonna keep it? Is someone gonna steal it? And then like 2 songs later, I see like out of the corner of my eye, someone's like getting on it. And then literally it was just some random dude like hopped on and he was also surfing it. And that was like the first time someone else has got on it.
That's like a lifeboat for somebody else.
It's like a lifeboat. Yeah, no, he was like standing on it and like dancing and shit. It was so hard.
Oh man, that is super cool.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I was like, wow, is that what it looks like when I'm up there?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Oh my God. Now you're a West Coast guy, right? I believe.
Yeah,
Grew
I'm
up
from
West
LA.
Coast. Oh, so I would imagine, like music in your ear was varied. Like you had all those cool rock bands. Like what were you listening to like those early years out in LA?
The first album I ever bought with my own money was American Idiot, Green Day.
You're the second person to say that to me this weekend.
Who's the first?
Noah Kahn.
Really?
Yeah, he said American Idiot was the first record that made him go, wow, I can make music like this? This sounds like this?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an incredible record. So American Idiot for you.
Yeah, and then also just growing up in LA, Kendrick.
Yeah.
Was such a big, like Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City, 2 of my favorite albums.
Yeah. Oh, and that's what, you're part of this kind of generation of like, there's no genre specific sound. It's like it all encompasses everything, which I think is fantastic. Was that always the mission for you to be like, or was it tough breaking and you had to pick one lane before you could do it all?
I don't know. To me, I just made music and whatever worked just worked. Right. I feel like now though, because of streaming, like anyone can listen to anything, or radio. You put whatever you want on the radio, right? Kids are listening to everything all at once. It's not like 30 years ago or whatever. You bought one record, right?
And you lived with it.
And you lived with it,
yeah.
Right? So you have access to everything all at once. Right. You go to any kid's playlist, it's going to be all different type of genres, all in the same playlist.
Yeah. What was other than the surf experience you just described? Was there a moment where you're in front of the audience and they're singing back your song? Was that? Do you remember that moment where like, wow,
like
this
the
is
first
connected?
time that happened?
Yeah, the first time that happened to you.
I mean, probably the first time that happened was when like Fast was going off and I was doing shows. But recently, my most recent song that it kind of hit me like, wow, this is crazy, was when I did, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I dropped POS. Yeah. And I remember we went on tour maybe 2 weeks after it came out. And the song had only been out for 2 weeks. It was doing like good. Yeah. It was doing good. But the first show, literally, that's the loudest song that they were singing. Yeah. And that was crazy to me because like I've had songs that do really good and it's this brand new song and that's the one they're singing the loudest.
Yeah. That's the one that resonates.
Super cool, yeah.
It's always the one you don't plan. In any kind of art, the thing that you don't expect.
That's the one that goes.
Yeah, that's the one that's ripping.
I've noticed that. That's what everyone says too. It's like, oh yeah, the hit single, that was the one we weren't even thinking about putting that one out.
Yeah. And was Today the song that kind of that turning point, part of your journey that was like the dark moment of your time, and now
Today?
Yeah, the song Today.
Yeah, so
tell me about the song Today. Yeah.
It's the first track on my debut album. It was fun while it lasted, and I wrote that song. I was in just this super dark place, and I was drinking a lot, like a lot. Yeah. And it kind of just came to this realization, like if I keep doing this, something bad is gonna happen, right? So, since I was a kid, I like learned about my emotions and how I was feeling through writing songs, right? Because you can look at the page or hear the words. Oh, that's how I'm feeling, right? Yeah. And so I remember I wrote that song, and then the next day I went and detoxed, and I quit drinking the next day.
Congratulations! I mean,
thank you
on your sobriety.
Yeah, a little over 2 years now.
Congrats, man. That's strong. That's great.
Yeah.
And I see it in your eyes. I mean, I could see the liveliness in your eyes. That.
Yeah, I'm not a zombie anymore.
Not a Zombie Anymore is the next record that will be out.
Yeah. That's the debut album. The second album. You heard it here first.
And if you had just a hypothetical collaborator on that dream list. Who would be on that?
I'm trying to get. It's funny, I mentioned them already. I'm trying to get a Billy Joe and Kendrick on the same song.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Just get that on the list.
Yeah.
It was really great chatting with you. Great meeting you. I enjoyed listening to your music and stuff. And then congratulations on your sobriety and your path. And
thank you.
It's an inspiration for people.
Thank you.
You know,
it was good being here talking to you.
Yeah, this is Sueco here on Q101.
Woo!